let's start again. So the idea of this stream is to present Tokavuh Stream Controller, which is a new product that will be launched this Tuesday, and what it can do for you. It's a stream control software that consists of two pieces. One is the PC application, which is shown here, and the other one is mobile application or mobile website, which can be used with any mobile device. For example, your phone, your tablet, your second PC, laptop, whatever. And the idea is that the PC application connects to your OBS Studio, and with this you define predefined buttons and tell what they should do. For example, play sounds, switch scenes, make animations, send keyboard commands, whatever you want. There are quite many features available for this. And then the mobile application connects to this PC application, and with it you can quickly press the buttons and select features you want to do. So you don't need to have a second monitor, you don't need to make complicated keyboard commands, you don't have to be checking those commands like, oh, does my game actually do something wrong if I happen to press these keys? For example, Elder Scrolls Online, if I press Alt, then it does something in the game, so no keyboard command can have Alt on it. And for example, I play with a controller, I don't have a keyboard next to me all the time, so I can't really use them. But with this I can have a mobile device or several mobile devices if I want, and just control my stream from there. And there's no problem with that. So let's see what we can do. So first we'll start with the OBS Studio. We have a scene, and we'll start building a basic streamer setup. Just a very small one, but just so you can see how things work. So first we'll rename the scene into Start. This will be our startup scene. And we will add an image and name it background. I can type, seriously. And we'll add a background picture, pretty hot picture. This is the bestest ever, like amazing streaming. Then we need a logo, and I'm not gonna use any fancy graphics at the moment. I'm just gonna add a basic text from OBS, and we will not care about much. We'll just find some font that, well, that's a good enough font. We'll make a huge font, and we'll make a streamer logo. We'll make it ugly green. No, it's not really that visible, so let's make it light blue. Yeah, that's okay. There's our logo. And then of course we want to tell people that we are starting soon, because why wouldn't we? We want them to know that we are not yet streaming, so we'll just put that text there, and we'll just put it there. So now we have a basic startup screen, and this is simple. We are not gonna do anything that special. Then we shall duplicate this into new scenes. The next one will be game, because of course we need an actual game screen. And then we can make a be right back screen. You need to go get some water. You need a be right back screen to show people that everything's okay. I'm just a bit away and I'll be coming back momentarily. So we have 3 screens, so let's make them a bit different. This is the startup. Be right back, we don't really want to have the text. We'll add another text for it, and we'll just make a simple be right back with a space, of course. And we'll make that also quite big. Oops. Now we will let that one be there, but we'll take that text and put it there. So now we have the be right back screen. We have start, be right back, and we have the game. In the game screen, we don't want that to be there at all. We'll just hide it. And let's say we want the logo to be much smaller, and we want it to be there, because otherwise it will be on top of the game annoyingly. That's not good. So we have start, we have game, we have be right back. And let's imagine the background is now the game. We're not gonna make an actual game there, so that's fine. So what can we do with the stream control? The basic thing is we connect to OBS Studio. You can see OBS is connected, recording and streaming are stopped, we are not doing them. And then we can just click edit, which brings us to edit mode. On the left, you can see all kinds of features and options and actions the software can do, and I will show the basic stuff first. So the first thing you want to do, of course, you want to change scenes. So let's put a few change scene options here. We have 3 scenes, so we'll make 3 buttons. So first one, we will name it start. And from scene list, we will select start scene. The next one will be game. So of course from the scene collection or scene list, we will select game. And then the last one will be right back. And we will select be right back. That's very simple and straightforward. Then we can exit edit mode. And what happens when I press these is start brings us to start scene, game brings us to game, and be right back takes us to be right back. Again, completely understandable and obvious this happens. But imagine that this is on your phone, on your tablet, right next to you. You can constantly see what's happening and what you're doing, and when you want to go away, you just click be right back. You come back, you click game, and the scene changes to that. Very simple and effective. You don't need to have any hotkeys set up. You don't need to have any second monitor even necessarily. Of course, it's good to have some kind of a way of monitoring the stream, but this is easy. You will always have the buttons clearly in front of you and not having to remember the keys or hit little keyboard keys anyway. So this is simple. This is what any application can do. Change scenes. Yeah, that's simple. But what if we have, actually I don't have set up, let's set up the devices because we need those. So let's put default there. Okay, now we have desktop audio and we have microphone. Desktop audio is getting some weird sound from somewhere, I don't know where. It's not hopefully coming to the stream at least, but it can wiggle there. So let's see, I'll just check that there's no, yes, monitoring is off, so everything should be. I'm just wondering where the desktop audio is getting the thing, so let's get... Okay, that's fine. And the microphone probably is picking up my other microphone, so we can also probably connect it into this one. Okay, there we have some audio sources also. What you maybe want to do is, of course, when you're going to your be right back mode, you want to mute your microphone. You don't want everyone to hear you banging around and doing things. So that's easy. Let's add another button. Mute toggle. You drag it there and simply check the source. Let's put microphone. It changed into green. We can exit edit mode. And now if I click this, you can see that microphone goes red. It's muted, and this one changes sign and color. If I click it again, microphone is unmuted. That's the simple thing. Again, nothing special about this. You can freely change the colors if you want it to be, for example, purple when it's muted, and let's say pink when it's not muted. Just select the colors and they will change however you want. You can also change the image however you want, so it looks different. For example, I don't have any pictures they're suitable, so we will not do that. But this is the simplest form. Mute, unmute. Very simple and effective. Of course, you can do the same. You can add another. Let's name this mic mute. And you can have the same for the desktop audio for your games. There. And you can the same way mute the game. Very simple and effective again. But what if you want to be a bit fancier? Of course, like if you have a game playing, you don't want to just suddenly cut the audio off. You maybe want to fade it. This is where the duration comes in. You can set duration, for example, 1000. These are milliseconds, so this is 1 second. And now if we look at the desktop audio volume bar when I mute it. Oh, it was muted, of course. So now it's on. If I click this, it will fade down within 1 second, and then it will mute it. And then when I click again, it will fade it in and leave it open. And the best part is, if you have set, for example, desktop audio minus 17.5 decibels, and now you mute it, it will again fade from minus 17.5 to mute, and then when you unmute it, it will go from 0 to minus infinity to minus 17.5 decibels. So it remembers exactly where you put it. It doesn't fade from to 100% or anything. It actually remembers where you are. So now we have microphone mute, which usually can be just mute, unmute. It doesn't usually need fade. We have a game mute, which mutes within 1 second. And we have our change scenes. That's very simple so far, right? Let's see what else we can do. We also have animation tools, for example, move item. And this is something that most tools, or any tool I know of, can't do. So if you want to animate something, let's say we want to animate the logo we have. So let's check that out. We will take scene. We don't care which scene. If it's empty, it means the current scene that's on the screen. Then item will be logo. And then there's all these settings. And these may look a lot. The simple thing is, if there's a greater than mark in front, it means that add this number to the value that exists. If it's 0, of course, nothing happens. If you put less than, it means reduce that much from the item. And I can simply show. Let's make greater than 100 for X. And we will add duration. If duration is 0, it will immediately, when you click it, it will perform it, and that's it. There's no animation per se. So let's once again put 1 second there and exit edit mode. And now if I click this button, the logo will nicely animate 100 pixels to the right every time I press it. If I make it less than 100, and click it, again, it moves left 100. And the same works for all of these options. X, Y coordinates, scaling in X and Y thing and also cropping. There's also rotation. If you want, you can rotate. So let's make it rotate the thing always when pressed 90 degrees. And there's also a shortcut. If you want to test things, you don't need to exit edit. You can double click this and it will run what it's supposed to do. As you can see, now it's rotating, but it's going off screen because the top left is the anchor. If you want to do different things, you can go in OBS, right click and select transform, edit transform. And you can set the transform into center. Now if you put the logo there, now the anchor is in the center. So if I now click this, OBS will rotate it around the center, which is of course much nicer. That's what you probably want to do. So this is a way to define how the coordinates are done. And in the future, when I'm talking about not just basic animation but advanced animation, full scene animations, you'll have to make sure that all of the items have, in different scenes, the same item has the same anchor, or otherwise it will not work at the moment. That will be fixed probably in the future, but at the moment it is a requirement. So let's make an actual animation. Let's check the coordinates for the logo in this place. It's 842 and 151. So that's simple. We will put the actual coordinates 842 and 151 here. And this simply means that when this is pressed, it will move into this location. And let's also put scaling 100. So if I press this, nothing happens really. No, this button, yes. Sorry, I have another button which I'm editing. So this button doesn't do much. You can't see anything happening. But the thing is, if we move this here, stretch it a bit, and if we now press this button, sorry, I didn't connect it to, what am I doing wrong? No, there's 90. So we'll put rotation to 0. So now if I click this, there, it was rotated so much that it moved. So okay, now if I move this and stretch it, and then every time I press this, it will go back to this and 100% size. That's okay. And now, maybe in the game, maybe we want to have it again smaller, and here, let's say. So again, we will check transform, edit transform, we get numbers. So let's go into this one, and let's put 372 and 1013, which are here. Now the size is a bit more difficult because we don't actually know. We can't check the scaling percentage from this. So we'll guess, we'll make it 50%. We assume that's okay, so let's close. So now one button, puts it there. And again, I forgot to select the item logo. That has to be set, otherwise of course it doesn't know what to do. It's there. It's a bit too big, as we can see, so let's edit it. Let's put 30% then. That must be good. Exit, click. Yeah. I guess it's 40 then. Let's agree on 40. Yeah, that's fine. So now we have two buttons that move it. This didn't have any duration, so this has 1000, so within 1 second it will move, and this one doesn't, so if you click it, it will go automatically. So let's add an animation there also, and exit. So now we have nice things. We can have a main logo, or we can have a small logo there. That's cool. And then, what if we want to get rid of, for example, this one? Well, the same thing. We can add move item, select this one and starting, take another button, and again starting, and let's just make a simple thing. Let's move it off screen. So I'm on full HD, so let's put X into 1920. These are left this, so they are not changed. They are whatever they are when I press this. And then let's check the transform. Okay, so normally it is 784. So to this one we will set 784. Okay, let's exit edit, close that one. And now we can control this. Again, let's add duration. There, 1000 for both. So this one does nothing, but this one moves it out the screen. And this brings it back. So now we are starting to get actual nice animations to this. So we can imagine that we start, this is our start screen, and then when we want to go into the game mode, we want to move the logo there, and we want to remove that one from the screen altogether. Of course, having multiple buttons and pressing them is not nice, even though these animations can be run at the same time. If I click this quickly, they will run at the same time, but it still doesn't look good. So what do? We'll go to edit mode and we'll take one of the most powerful features of this application, a multifunction. We'll drag it here and we'll name this start, and we'll get another one and we'll name this game. We don't change the icons at the moment, but let's put a different color so we can see that it's different from the... Oh, that's text color. That doesn't need to change. Let's put the background color into something different. It's ugly, but it's fine. So we know them apart from these. Okay, we have start, we have game. And the multifunctions are features that allow you to run several things at the same time or consecutively. Now we want to make the start screen, so let's click the concurrent on. We want animations to run concurrently. And then if you double click the start, it will open a new deck without any buttons, and there's an up button. And here we can add features that will run when the button is pressed. So let's double click up, it goes back, and we already have these features. We have this one and this one. This one brings the starting soon, and this one moves the streamer logo there. So what we can do, we'll grab this, click Control, drag this, hold it on top of the start multifunction, and then drop it here. Double click back, Control, drag this one on top of start, drop it here, and double click back. Now we have a multifunction which has copied the same thing. Move this logo there, move this text here. And if we exit edit and let's move these away. Now we click this. It runs both animations at the same time, exactly like we want. So this one doesn't do anything yet. We didn't add anything there. So let's do that. Again, Control, drag, wait a bit and drop it here, double click, Control, drag, drop, double click, exit edit. And now I didn't click on concurrent, as you can see. This one has concurrent on. Animations happen at the same time. This has it off. The animations are sequential. First the logo and then the text. Not what we want, so simply click on concurrent, exit edit. Starting screen, game screen. Very simple. But when we are starting up, I don't want my microphone to be on, of course. There's going to be all kinds of things happening in the background, so I want to make sure that my microphone is off. So now we can get, instead of mute toggle, which will toggle mute and unmute, we take mute source and drag it here. We select mic, and that's it. This will make sure that when I press this, now microphone is muted. It doesn't matter if I click it again, it will still stay muted. If I add the toggle, it will unmute and mute and unmute. So we don't want that, we want always it to be muted. And then if you want, going to the game screen, you can also put unmute. Select microphone and no duration. Again, we don't need fading. Exit. Now microphone comes up immediately. Going here, it's muted, unmuted. Everything's fine. Much more professional than just changing scenes. For example, if you do the normal scenes change, this just fading, and for example the same logo is in two places fading in and out, that doesn't look very professional, does it? It's much nicer to actually animate things like this. Of course, if we had actual game in the background, we will also animate that and do whatever we want. So now we can just get rid of these, because we don't want this again outside of the screen, because I have this monitor on the left, so the negative coordinates are causing issues. There. And we don't actually even necessarily need these ones. Let's move them here. If you drag without control, it will just move. So we have these. And of course, if we wanted to make a be right back screen, for example, we can do this. Again, press Control, drag, it will make a copy. Let's change this background again to something. Let's put that so they are different, we can see. Let's put this into BRB. Double click to get here. Now by default, because we copied the main screen, if I click it, it will bring these back. But we don't want to have a starting soon. We want to actually set text, for example. Let's use that. Let's select the starting text, which we have here, and text will be right back ... Exit edit. Let's go to game mode, for example, then be right back. There. And as you can see, the text doesn't come nicely out of there because the anchor is here and the text are different size, but it's for demo. And then now, of course, if we go from here to start, the text will be wrong. So let's just go here, another set text, grab the starting and put the text. Sorry, I'm bashing the microphone here badly. So the text will be starting soon. And exit. So now, game. Oh, I'm changing scenes, sorry. So game mode, everything's away, start, starting soon, game, be right back. And what can we do with this that it doesn't come here? Again, right click, transform, edit transform. And we don't use top left coordinates, we want to use the top right coordinates. So we'll click that, move it here, and now we have to edit what we did for the animations. In the advanced section of the animations, you don't need to do all these things, but I'm showing the basic stuff first, so it's easier to understand. So in the start, double click, move item, starting. Now we want it to be on screen. I have full HD, so 1920 by 1080, which means if we are going by top right coordinates, we actually want to move it to 1920. And let's see, if I double click, nothing happens because it is already there. Then double click back in game mode, again starting. Now this doesn't work because it's there, so we'll simply make it double. We'll make sure it gets out of the screen. So we'll make this one. Move. There. It goes way out of screen, but we don't really care. There, and again here, we want it to move again to the proper place, so 1920. So let's exit edit, make it into BRB mode, and you can see it's on the right side, game, it goes away, start, it's here. And it doesn't matter what the size of the text is, because now we are anchoring on the right side, top right corner. So now we have nice animations. And again, of course, if I click these, there's no movement because they are already in place. Only the text changes. So here are some very simple animation features that you can do with Tokavuh Stream Control. The other things that there's also set image, which you can use to set any image on screen. Let's try that out. I'll already drag a couple of images out, but first let's go here and add an image. Let's just call it image and browse. Now if I remembered where I had images, let's see, actually, because here I should have a, yes, I have a folder, so let's copy the path from there. So browse, and we'll put silly GIFs on stream. Again, we'll do transform and center there, and then we'll center it on screen. We want to have a nice reaction GIF, for example, and it's a bit small. Let's edit transform and let's make it into double. So that's 578. That looks better. So now we have a reaction GIF there. Basic stuff that we could do, we could take hide toggle. Take hide toggle, select source, image, and that's it. You want to show a reaction, click on it, it's on screen, click again, it hides. Already very nice thing for a stream. But what if we want to do different ones? We could make multiple image sources and select them and put them on buttons. That's of course fine. But what you also can do, let's keep that on screen and go for set image. We'll select the image, and here also, and now we can browse, check the path. There's also image, but this is the image for the button. So path, we'll take the Joey, and for this one we'll take, well, let's take this one, exit, and now if I click this one, we have this GIF. If I click this, we have Joey back. So you can simply change images based on however you want to. There is also a random image function. So let's check that out. Again, select image items should be image. But now when you're browsing, we will select a folder here. And now if we exit and we click a random image, it will select a random image from the folder. So you can, for example, have multiple WoW GIFs and just click one button and it will put some of them on screen. But let's go back to Joey. Now you have to do the toggling yourself. But what if you want to just have a simple button that does everything for you? You just want to have a simple react button. Let's again take a multifunction. We grab multifunction, but this time we don't make it concurrent. We will actually keep it sequential. Double click, and let's do the set image. We'll want to set a certain image here, so we'll go for set image. We want to have Joey there on the image. Then we want to show it, so we use unhide source because we want it to always be shown, and select image. This will unhide it, show it on screen. Then we'll take a pause and we'll put here 3000 milliseconds, which is 3 seconds. And then we will put hide source and select image again. There. So set image, unhide, pause, hide. And because the multifunction is not set to concurrent, these steps will run one after another. So let's see what happens. I click the button. There. It sets the image to Joey, shows it, waits 3 seconds, and then goes away. Very nice. You don't have to be clicking it away yourself. You can just click one. And if you want, you could actually remove the set image, delete, and you can do the random image. Again, select image as the target, path for your folder with all your images, and now when you click the multifunction, there's Joey for 3 seconds. Next time, there's another one. Next time, again, Joey. It's completely random, so it may show the same things, as you can see. Okay, now it's a bit too much Joey to be random. Okay. There's another. It should be more random, but it does whatever happens to come from there. Now it's not showing up the others at all. Okay, I will have to check that it actually does random properly. But there, you have a button for things. What about if you want to have a sound effect? Of course with it. No problem. You can simply go here and add a sound effect. We have in local, we have play audio. Let's put it just here. Play audio, and let's see what we have here. We have a actual music, so that, and we'll keep the volume at 100 for now. Exit. If I click, and we have a nice audio there. Click again, it stops. Click again, starts, stops. It will start and stop on its own, and it will not loop, it will just play it once. So you can add it to your multifunctions and have it play things however you want. And you can also make your stream control into a soundboard if you want. For example, if you have add a folder is another nice thing. You only have 15 buttons by default. Add a folder, you can add 14 more, because up takes 1. And of course, if you want, you can put folders inside folders inside folders. As many as you want. It's all fine. No problem with that. So let's get rid of those. So if you want a soundboard, make a folder, name it sounds, and you can put there things like play audio, and then select what it should play. That one. I only have, unfortunately, one thing at the moment, so there's 2, for example. Now if you click, there's things, and they can play at the same time. However you want. So there's your soundboard. Very simple thing. And now we are getting quite full here. So let's get rid of that play audio, for example. This is exactly why the folders are good, because you need multiple buttons often, so you can do that. There, let's delete those. We don't need it. We have animated things here which handle all the scene shifting, so to say. What else do we have? The counters are a bit advanced and require setup, so we don't do that. The animate scene can do a full scene animation, which also needs a bit more explanation, so that one is not really for this session. We also have in OBS Studio, we have start streaming, stop streaming, start recording, and stop recording buttons. And these are quite self-explanatory. You just drag them. This clicking will start recording, and this will stop. If I start, by default, there is a require confirmation tab on. So it will ask you, do you really want to do this? I say, okay, yes. Now you can see recording, recording, and here OBS is recording. Then if we want to stop, again, we click the button. It will ask, do you really want to stop recording? Because, well, you don't want to accidentally do that. Yes, I do. Click that. Okay, recording stopped. Yes, here stopped. Everything's fine. And the same with streaming. You can just select start and stop recording, and that's it. You can also put them in multifunctions. For example, if you want the start thing, you could have start streaming here, and it will start streaming immediately, however you want. And then probably you don't want the confirmation because you're doing it automatically. So that's it. So these are quite simple. There's also multimedia buttons, and these are very simply, if you put play pause, it will just click, act the same as if you were clicking play pause button. And here it's now playing Pretzel, and if I click it again, it will pause it. So that's very simple. The same with stop, next, previous, mute, and volume up and down will just act exactly like volume up and down buttons on your laptop or PC or wherever. It will change the volume. Very simple things. But what if you want to change the volume of the microphone, for example? No problem. Here is a source volume. Let's drag it there. And here again you see the greater than symbol. So let's take two of them here. Let's make first one volume down, and the second one volume up. We'll make this into less than 10, and this one greater than 10. What happens when I click it? Nothing, because we didn't actually select the source. Let's do it again. And there was actually a problem. Now it's yellow all the time. So it's running. And I can't cancel. So I will just restart it quickly. I will have to check that bug actually before putting it out there. So you didn't see anything. Okay. And I tried muting mic for coughing, but actually that doesn't mute that one microphone, so yeah. Okay, so now volume down. Still nothing. What is wrong with our volume down? Did I change these? Let's see, because it might be that there is a problem which I haven't fixed, and I will fix before this comes out. So let's start again and see, edit volume down. Now if I click, and now I clicked it, it says not connected to OBS Studio because I forgot to click connect, of course. Okay, volume down. Okay, now it went down. So here it's -10 and +10, which should be changed different. So I can just adjust my mic volume up or down with simple clicks. I don't have to be going into here with mouse and being like, okay, where there I can just click on my mobile and change things from there. Very simple. And this also can be made, you can add duration, let's say 1000 for a second. So now it will slide it down. Of course 1 second is way too long for this, but just to demonstrate. There, it goes up and down, so it fades nicely. It's not going to be going like jerk into lower and higher volume. It will actually be nicely fading into the new value. So that's again something that most products don't seem to be able to do, but with this it's simple. And also the mobile controller has these sliders also, so you can slide it if you want. You don't need to tap these kinds of buttons. You can just slide however you want. And then there are also select transition and transition time. So if you want to use the change scenes, for example, when you're starting to use this, you don't want to build the animations directly, you just want to have a simple change scene. You can select the transition and time, and they are exactly like here. For example, I have cut and fade, and there's duration. And I can set them, select transition, here I can put fade, and whatever I want. And that actually caused a crash. Interesting. I will have to look into that also. This is very good to show to people this way, because there's going to be problems sometimes, and I can catch them this. And the same transition time. Simply set the time in milliseconds, for example 1000. That also crashed. Okay, transitions are broken. I will have to remember that. I will write a note for myself. Transitions broken, and also the volume is plus, minus, and not greater and smaller than. Okay, I will fix those. But imagine they work. You can set transitions, transition times, however you want, straight from the buttons. And that's pretty much it. As I mentioned, the counters will be handled later, and the full scene animation will be handled later. It is a bit more complicated subject, though I could give a little example of how the full scene animation makes things very nice. So let's do that quickly. So let's remove these. We don't need these. We'll just have the start, and then we will duplicate it into, let's call it anim, and then duplicate it into game. There. And let's move the anim top, and then we have start and game. They look the same, but let's do this. I want the logo to be there. I want this text to be there, and I want also this logo to be, oh yeah, let's edit transform, let's see, rotation 90. Yeah, that's good. We want it to be rotated 90 degrees in there. So we have this one and this one. Again, if you look at them changing this way, there's an ugly hide, which is not professional. So what we do, we take Stream Control. Let's add a folder so we have some space. Let's add animate scenes. Now, the animation scene, we have this anim, which we didn't change. This is our animation scene. Okay, let's connect so we can refresh these. Anim is the scene we want to use for animation, and the source scene is the one we make it look like. So let's do start, and here anim and game. The idea is that when you press this button, it will make this animation scene look like this source scene. So let's put 2 seconds into both of them and save. Exit edit, and now we are in the anim scene, which was the target. If we click the first one, nothing happens because, well, it looks like start. But when we click the game scene, it automatically makes the anim scene look like the game scene, and start scene is as it should be. And if we click the first one, it animates the anim scene to look like the start scene. So now you can see how much easier it is with the full scene animation, because you can do whatever you want. For example, well, let's show the GIF. And here we don't want to show it, for example. So now even the hides, start, we want the GIF, game, we don't. Let's click that. Okay, we are in start scene. This is showing. Let's go to game mode. It's not showing. Let's go to start. It is showing. And of course, this is quite ugly to just hide it, so let's make it a bit different. Let's edit transform, and it is actually 550 something, so let's put top crop 549. You can see it went into very thin thing. So what happens now if we go to this? We get an actual animation. We go back, it comes back. Again, now it had a lag because I did it wrong. I put the width into the height, so no, we don't want that. Let's put left 549. And we have center, let's actually put center left into the bounds, and also we need to do it in all of this. As I mentioned previously, they all have to be the same. So center left, that doesn't matter here. Transform, edit, let's do center left. And let's actually do this way. Now it's nice. We will do transform, copy transform, go to game, and transform, paste transform, and then we will add the crop from left there. So now if we animate, let's make it into the beginning. It was a bit different, but now if we go to game, there, and it's hidden in the end. Go back, it brings it back. So as you can see, full scene animations are very powerful tools, because you don't need to add a single move item for every item on screen. You just put them wherever you want, and they will animate automatically. So that one is very powerful tool for any stream. And that is basically pretty much all of the things that I can show off this in the basic stuff. And I will be making an actual demonstration video of this, and probably be showing it off a bit more sometimes, but mostly I'm just using it in my own stream. And even though I'm showing this PC application and how this works, it literally is exactly the same if you use it from the mobile client. And let's see, I can show you how the mobile web client, for example, works. There is an actual mobile application, but there is also a mobile web client, which basically works on almost any device you happen to have. So here is the mobile. You can see it's just a browser, and exactly the same way I can go into here. I can select game, it animates. I can select back, it animates. And even if in both I'm here, both will show like, oh, this is running, now this is running. They are completely synchronized, but I can do different things with them. They don't need to be in the same mode. I can do this here, I can mute microphone here, unmute, do whatever. So you can have multiple devices even if you want. And it's that simple. And here there's a demo version of the volume, which will be made into much nicer looking. But you can see, I can change microphone volume, I can change desktop audio volume, I can mute, unmute, also from here. On the mobile application, it looks much better than just here, these. So you'll just have to check that out and try it out. But I hope I have shown something about the actual program and how it works, and maybe gotten someone interested in it, and also shown, if you have the application, what you can do with it, how you can do things with it. There's a lot more it can do, and in the future it will support much more functions, but this is basically the main thing that I wanted to talk about. So I think that's pretty much it for this time. I've been over an hour talking about it already, and I didn't realize it would take this much time, because having a 1 hour video to show to someone about how to use this application is a bit much. But I will clip things from here, maybe. I will also do new things, make other things, and probably not even use this video, but it's a good example of how to do things, and for me, practice talking about things and presenting. But I hope someone who is watching this later on might find it useful. So I will leave you to this, and let's put that on. I don't have Stream Control connected to this OBS, so I can't just do nice animations. But thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, you can contact me. And this application is available on Tuesday on Steam for $20. And there is also the giveaway on my channel. Down below on the infos, there's a link that you can click and you can get into the giveaway. I'm giving away some licenses to this, so if you're interested, just hop on there. So thank you for interest, and I will be back later at some point.